What's up, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here. Joining me, Chaos Prime Z from YouTube. We've got a great show for you guys today. I invited Chaos over here to sit down and discuss the future of Anthem. He posted an incredible video. The link is in the description. In fact, you might actually want to go watch his video and then come back, because we're going to talk a lot about the blog post that was posted yesterday by Casey Hudson regarding the state and future of Anthem. And to get everybody caught up, in case you are not aware, Chaos, why don't you take over? Why don't you give everybody kind of the rundown of what Casey said, and then let's discuss.
Hey Brian, how's it going?
Oh, good.
So, essentially, Casey released this blog post, which is very similar to what Chad reported in September.
Yeah.
You know, we've known since September that, you know, they're working on the core of the game, and all they've done in this blog update is essentially let us know that 2.0 officially exists. We had the leak from Jason Schreier regarding 2.0 about 3 months ago. I mean, I don't think anyone really saw that as a leak. Everyone kind of knew it was
soft.
BioWare that was actually, you know,
it's a soft thing. It's like, here you go, you know, and enough food for the YouTubers like us to
just to chew on and start to speculate and keep Anthem in the limelight. But it's essentially what he said later on, that it was full of words and full of stuff, but it didn't really say anything, which is exactly what happened in September.
It was so, like, because when I watched it and how I was like, well, like, does our progress carry forward? Because if it doesn't, Anthem is essentially on break, in my mind.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that this essentially pretty much confirmed is this one line that they say here. So we recognize that there's still more fundamental work to be done to bring out the full potential of the experience, and it will require a more substantial reinvention that an update or expansion won't do, essentially.
They're relaunching.
Now, Hello Games did a fantastic job with No Man's Sky in bringing it back, but they did that through continuous updates.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't communicating. They were just constantly releasing updates and checking to see how the community responded with that.
Right.
If you look at the Division 2, they pretty much had the worst, well, I wouldn't say the worst launch, but the game was bland as hell. But they've released
it started off great. Like when you compare Division 2's launch went to Anthem, like everybody was like, this is how it's done, and then like all of a sudden the bottom fell out of that.
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm still very dubious about that one, because when I played it with my friends, after like the first 5-6 hours,
mm-hmm.
we started seeing the severe deficiencies in the Division 2, how empty it was and how unentertaining it was to the first one. But they've just announced a new expansion, and that looks absolutely amazing.
Right.
So we've got now one model with Hello Games who has said, we're going to go through the update model, and it's worked great for them. Ubisoft Massive have come out with the expansion, and I really hope it works out for them, because I'm a massive fan of the Division 1, and I would love to continue playing the Division 2.
Yeah.
But they've said that they're not going for these options. They're not going for that Taken King, expansion type approach, because they don't believe that is enough to fix this game.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Yeah. So why do you agree with that? Like, expand on that mindset, because you and I were in actually complete agreement. From its launch as an engineer, people have been saying, there's a big update and it's around the corner. And I go, there's a big update and it's maybe 12 to 18 months away. And I don't know what that time frame looks like now. I would assume they've actually been working on said big update for a while, but
I would
they're
say
not ready
since
to show
April,
it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say since April.
Yeah.
And the reason why, I mean, if you look at the netcode of the game, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
No game out there drops you out from an instance if you lose a couple of packets.
Right.
But it takes Anthem 2 or 3 packet loss in order to kick you out. I can lose multiple packets in, say, Final Fantasy XIV. The other day, I uploaded a video which was really bad on my really bad internet, because my service provider done some crazy shit to me. Oops, sorry.
You're okay.
Crazy bad things to me, and It's fixed now, so that's great. But my upload was like capped out, and 14, bless them, actually managed to keep me in the instance and continue.
That's awesome.
That would be impossible for me to play on the Anthem servers.
Yeah.
Because how the netcode was designed. And a lot of the crashes, the pilot errors, and everything like this comes from a core level where it's just broken from the core. And that needs to be rewritten. So if you're going to rewrite the core, you're not going to put, broken stuff on the foundation that you've just fixed.
Right.
If you've set the base and you've got the base of the house all now cemented and the foundation being set, you're going to want to put, parts of the house on there that are actually supporting it.
Yeah.
You're not going to put like half fractured pieces onto it. So a complete rebuild is essential.
And it's that rebuild that gives them the opportunity to reintroduce the game on their terms. And I think that's going to be... I saw Young Yao put out a video yesterday, and he was like, they need to tell us what they're doing. They need to communicate. And I fundamentally disagree. We don't have trust in BioWare or what their capacity is. And my argument is, don't tell me anything. Show me. If you tell me anything, I'm speaking myself as a generality, not going to believe you. YouTubers are going to meme and they're going to jump on that and they're going to get their hate clicks and things like that. And then you're just going to be going up against a sea of misinformation, because by the time you do show, everybody's going to be like, oh, I heard that this was like horrible and it was like stealing your credit card information or something. Like who knows how deep that rabbit hole goes. And so like this telling us nothing, it for me seeded a little hope. Like I was like, great. Let people need to just chew on this blog, because not everybody is like you or myself or the Anthem community, which like there is an active Anthem community, and there's usually one or two people who come in on my videos and say, wait, are people still playing this game? I would assume you see that too.
Yeah, all the time.
Right. And it's like, yeah, like there is a core piece of magic wrapped around a bad foundation, poorly, and it's not from the developer's perspective. The reason why, somebody was like, you're defending Anthem. I'm like, I'm always rooting for the devs. The leadership is totally to blame, but the hardworking people who poured their time into this game, who obviously are still working on this game, I'm rooting for them. I want them to have that amazing game. No dev out there in the world wants to put out garbage. It's not, you don't get up early, you don't take less pay to do this kind of work just so that people can just hate on you. But the fault lies 100% with the leadership, and hopefully with Casey Hudson at the helm, hopefully with the fact that they're taking the time and making the investment to do these things, it could work out. And the key word here is could. Ultimately, if they're going to charge us for whatever this update relaunch is, that would be a bad choice. Ultimately, absolutely. If your progress doesn't carry forward, if the reason why you're playing today and getting the coin and getting the gear doesn't carry forward, that would be another bad choice. Because essentially, if that second thing isn't true, there's no reason for anybody to log in and play outside of just having that experience. But if it does carry forward, that gets people to say, hey, the game's stable, it is what it is, but there's a future for the game, so you can play it now, and we're taking this feedback and this education forward. My ultimate question for you, it's like those are my 2 cents. Like, is there anything out that I didn't list that would be a big like deal breaker for Anthem and its future for you besides those 2 things I listed?
That covers the majority. When you said stuff carrying over in terms of your progress, does this include like your in-game items, the cosmetics, the stuff that you paid money for in the cosmetics store? At
a minimum, there has to be that. I would like my level to carry forward, but I know that if they change, what's a level, right? Like at some point that could be like, okay guys, here's, take 2. But especially if somebody, I've just been coin. I just buy emotes too, like outside, like I just use the coin, the in-game currency that you earn on emotes. Like, that's hands down all I've done. So if that doesn't carry forward, though, why should I grind today for the things that they're going to be? Because it's basically maintenance mode. Here's the content that we've already released, and we're just going to stagger that out, over the course of the next year.
That's the thing. I mean, they came out and, they said that we're going to pull the people that are currently working on the live team to work on Anthem 3.0. Now, I understand why they're doing this, and it's clear because the progress that they hope to have made up until now hasn't been done because they don't have the manpower to keep going at the pace they hope to be. And when they looked at their internal roadmap of where they should have been, I'm assuming at some point they realized that, we need to pull people off this project here in order to make sure that we can hit the goal date of what we want, whatever that is for 2.0.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's why they've actually pulled people off 2.0.
Yeah.
Now, if there's the key point here for me that they didn't address in this blog is the fact what's going to happen to our progress. Now, I'm okay with losing our levels. I'm okay with losing that because, you're going to start a new game. And honestly, I expect some form of reset to happen when we move over to 2.0. It's going to be a new engine, so some stuff will not be transferring over.
What do you mean by new engine? Because I would think something along those lines, but nothing has been confirmed.
Nothing's been confirmed, but I just can't imagine them. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I didn't think that they'll do a complete reboot. But if you're going to do a complete reboot and you want to get things working a lot faster, Unreal Engine is going to be the preferred choice. I'm not saying Frostbite can't do it. They may have become better at Frostbite, but whichever way they decide to go about this, the one thing they need to tell their community that's actually still playing, that still wants to play, is what's transferring from one point to the other.
Yeah.
And I don't think they actually know the answer to this either.
And that's the concerning thing.
That's the concerning thing, because like you rightfully said, if none of my stuff is going to actually transfer over, and I'm going to restart in 2.0 from scratch, reset, and I'm going to lose. I mean, I know people that have messaged me recently telling me, I've spent over $500, $600 on cosmetics inside the cash shop. And they're perfectly happy to do this because it's supporting the devs and actually,
that's a lot of faith, dude. Like, that's a lot of faith.
They bought every single cosmetic item in the store.
Are they aware that you could just play the game and get everything and pretty much everything in the store just by earning that coin?
Of course.
Okay, so they're willfully just donating to the cause.
Yeah, because they want to improve the experience. Now, the first question that he asked me was, is my stuff transferring over, or am I about to lose everything? And that's a valid question, and that's a question that the heads of BioWare, Casey Hudson, needs to answer, and he needs to answer this quickly.
It should have been answered in the blog post.
Absolutely.
Even if it's undefined regarding, with more details, but we guarantee your cosmetics will go forward. It's because that is something that is tied into that scratch. And that's where I was like, they didn't say that. That was the biggest question.
Right. And
now,
this is the point
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, go ahead and finish your thought, because I want to pivot the conversation slightly.
Right, and this is the point I was making at the end of my video when I was just freely just going with it. If they want us to, if they're going to release the same content from year one for year two, that's fine. And those that enjoy the content loop for now will continue to play it. Those that want to continue supporting the game will continue supporting it.
Right.
But
there's a fun element there, teaming up with different people and running, a stronghold once a week. It feels good. Yeah.
But it's give and take. You need to, give as well as take. And if you're only just taking and not giving back to your community, well, then there's a problem there.
Yeah.
And they messed up here big time, because the fundamental question now is, yes, Anthem 2.0 has been announced. Yes, we know that Anthem 2.0 is coming potentially this year. I think it still is going to come this year, and I still believe personally,
Like this year, like you think this holiday?
potentially, yeah, or
Okay.
maybe slightly earlier. I think at EA Play we will see a trailer of what they have.
It's got to be more than a trailer, dude. Like they've shown us trailers, and that trailer sold so many people on the game. It has to not be like. Honestly, they were like, we'd show a trailer, but how about we just like watch somebody log in, play the game, and then let people play it out at EA Play. Like that's if they're going to do like don't even like if it can't be touched, it's not worth.
Oh yeah. I agree.
That's the rebuilding of trust. Like when you look at 14 1.0 to 2.0, Yoshi P didn't say that they built a bad game. He said that we lost the trust of the gamers. And that it was his job to restore the trust, both in supporting 1.0 and then essentially launching 2.0. So there could be a value. The fact that they've gone into maintenance mode is good because and doing it as a brand new game is good. Whatever that ends up meaning is only left for speculation right now. But with our last couple of minutes on this, what's your litmus test? Like if you've made a video about it, I saw that, and then but as this general conversation goes, like if you could pick 3 wishes, for whatever this 2.0 is, like what are those 3 things that you want to see that really would, I think, overall improve the game and the gameplay experience for you and the community?
So for me, it would be a compelling progression system that actually works. I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, we're done with the video. We got it. Okay, go ahead.
Real endgame content. I think even if it's not raids, even though raids seem to be the big thing right now, especially with a lot of content and a lot of live services, something along those lines is needed here.
Yeah, aspirational content,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the third one for me personally would be a deep, engrossing storyline that evolves over time.
Those are really good. Those are 3 good options. Picking 3 different ones for myself, I would say cross-play, cross-save at a minimum, being the save part. But the fact is like I would love to be able to play this game with my friends, no matter what platform, and just connect and have a good time. I would say I think the game should be focused around the fun, which is like if you take free play now, if you take the trailer from E3, where you're out and about, and then all the stuff is there. You're not going into this menu. There's not this weird segmented, system of load to a menu, pick a mission, match make, go to the mission, complete mission, load back to whatever. Like, no, just everything is just this connected, shared world that javelins are flying in and flying around and going and just doing content that would then make the live events and it makes the world feel alive. And then the third thing, it's somewhat related to the story, but Tarsus just felt, because I agree with all 3 of your things, but Tarsus versus the rest of the game just felt like this weird side thing. And it was some of them, the best characters. The thing is, I really loved the story. I love the universe, the lore and how, just the mystery behind everything. But then it's just this weird thing that's so different. It's like all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm playing the shooter, and now I'm playing Tetris for a little bit, and now I'm back to shooting things. And then you're with your friends, and you're like, oh, I got to go play Tetris. And your friends are like, all right, well, let us know. Let's go. We want to go shoot things. If they had that drop in, drop out, back to my number 2, drop in, drop out multiplayer, okay, yeah, you want to go have a storied experience for a minute? Go for it. We're going to be on this next mission. We're going to be doing this stuff. Just join us when you're done, and we're not waiting at a menu for you to, finish your Tetris match.
Yeah, the whole discussion part was where you had those conversations in Fort Tarsus was a massive disconnect. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But some of them took so long to go through.
But they're not any, consequential story thing. You can't go and have a character get killed because then, if they're a pivotal character in the story for the future of the game, well, they're dead, wait a minute. That's kind of where I'm like, I get the narrative and the story, and I'm totally with you. let's think about it. Let's if we're gonna do it, let's do it right. Let's just make it a single player game at that point. If you really want that.
because it felt like a single player game.
Right.
That aspect of it felt single player.
Yeah.
And I actually found at one point when a friend of mine said, I'm playing Anthem, and I said, you know what, just experience it single player, get to finish the story, and then we can go out and play, because there's times where you spend like half an hour intervals in Fort Tarsus just speaking to all those people, and it's like everyone is waiting for you, going and making their tea, coffee. This was happening when I was playing, and it was like I felt bad making them wait, and I felt.
Well, and so then what do? You either have friends and you make them wait, or that you skip.
I made them wait.
Right, and so or you skip, and then people are like, "What are we doing?" So they got to get that from a design perspective.
Yeah.
But again, there's stuff here. It's like at the end of the day, it's perfectly fine if you didn't like Anthem, but I think if you're really looking at it, you have to also be honest with it. It's like, was there anything you did like about the game? And if they are able to deliver a 2.0, would you return? So I asked that question to the community. Sound off below. What would be your 3 wishes? Chaos Prime, where can people find you? Obviously, I'll include links in the description, but tell people what you're about, who you are, and what you got coming up.
So, I'm Chaos Prime Z, and if you're wondering what the Z stands for, it is 0. You'll also find the same name in Final Fantasy XIV. And you'll find me on YouTube at /Chaos Prime ZYT. I do a lot of Anthem content. I am also looking to expand into other areas, but my main focus at present is Anthem and all things Anthem.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with Chaos and myself. Hopefully you enjoyed this discussion video in which we talked about, obviously, the blog and what it means for the future of Anthem. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know if you did, or if you didn't. All opinions matter. Sound off in the comments below, and we look forward to hearing you for Ginger Prime. My name's Brian. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.